Friends too.
Andrew.
Right? He's like, now it's my turn to not talk to you guys.
I think he's like
the grand tour.
Where did he go? Oh.
He's like, nope, screw you guys.
No, I don't like the looks of these guys.
Right.
So welcome back, everybody. Here's another weekly dose of bleach bangs. And we may or may not have our guests joining us.
It's a great start.
He's still hanging out there somewhere, man. So what's going on, you guys?
Not much. Same thing.
You guys, I just got I went and saw Scattered Hamlet this weekend. It was
a
show. It was great to catch up with Jode for a brief moment. I'm gonna catch Warrant tomorrow night.
Cuckoo.
So it's a great time in the music world to be out and seeing shows again.
Right on, right on. Yes, it is. Everything is opening up.
Which is nice.
Or is open.
Right.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Well, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Well, who was the other cat? Do you know?
Other cat?
I think I'm 30 minutes early.
Ah, there it is. I was like, Andrew?
How you
He's like,
doing?
I'm not fucking Andrew.
Definitely Brendan. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes.
See you later, but nah, it's good to see you. That's initiative.
Okay, so if that's the worst thing that happens the whole show, we've done good.
Right. Goodness.
I love it. I love it. So welcome to the show. We are Bleach Bangs.
Awesome.
Just want to introduce ourselves real quick. My name's Randy and I'm in Oklahoma City.
Nice.
I'm
Nice to meet
Ashton. I'm also Oklahoma City.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Ashton.
And I'm John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
All right, Sergeant Sleeves. What's up, baby?
That's right.
He's the only one with the fancy name on here.
Yeah.
The sleeve is
like
toned
that.
down since I got married. Let's say that.
Totally understandable, man. Happy wife, happy life. So.
So
right.
where are you at?
I'm up here in Northern California, just outside of Oakland.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about what you've got going on. I mean, you've got I watched the documentary with your dad.
Yeah.
That was really freaking cool. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. I just did MTV's Family Legacy on Paramount Plus, which was a 5-episode miniseries featuring children and famous celebrities talking about their lives and what they're doing. But mostly it was just a big MTV love fest, with a lot of footage from the VMAs and stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. We did like 7 hours of interviews, one of which was with my pops, and the rest was just them talking to me about all kinds of wild stuff in my life. And then MTV condensed it down into a 15-minute sound bite, basically.
Of course.
But, as one does in the world of network television. So,
Right.
but it was cool, man. It was an honor to be a part of the experience, truthfully, because like I grew up, watching a lot of MTV and music videos back when they used to show that stuff, and
Right.
yeah, it was really cool.
Right on, right on. So if you guys haven't seen that and you have Paramount Plus, it is really cool. They have a lot of different family members and parents and all that kind of stuff, and it's really cool. It was really neat. I was like, I'm gonna check this one out, and I continued watching the whole all the way
Good.
through.
It
was
just
great.
got
Yeah,
sucked in.
it got me. I was like, oh, Chester Bennington. Okay.
I have not had a chance to watch that, and I don't know if we have Paramount Plus or not. But I'm going to ask a question, and it's a curiosity. What is the wildest thing that you got to witness as a child growing up that you can talk
man.
about?
That's a long list. I'm not even sure if I can pick one thing. I had a lot of formative experiences on the road when I was not technically of age. So I'm not going to name names or get anybody in trouble, but I witnessed a lot of really crazy things backstage at Van Halen shows, my father's shows, all kinds of stuff, but I was getting into plenty of trouble on my own too. So
Well, when you're around it all day, all week, all month, it tends to
I
happen.
knew
that
it was going to
way.
be a super vague answer, but I had
Yeah.
to try.
It's the situation where he pulls
I
out
knew
a
it was gonna
dictionary. And
stay
he's just
vague.
like,
I knew it wasn't going to get detailed.
Statute of limitations may not be up yet.
right,
Some of this
right.
shit. So you've done a lot of things, and you really wanted to dive headfirst into MMA. How did that go for you, and why aren't you doing that now?
Yeah, when I was a kid, like around 5 or 6 years old, I started doing martial arts through like traditional stuff like karate, traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu. I just wanted to be a Ninja Turtle, so I begged my parents to like throw me into it. And I started picking up little harder things like Muay Thai and submission grappling when I was about 15 or 16. And then when I was 18, I moved down to college. I moved down to LA for college and started training at a gym called Raw, Real American Wrestling, with a bunch of like really old school MMA fighters back in the day before they were even calling it MMA. Guys like Frank Trigg and Rico Chiapparelli, Vladimir Matyshenko, all these early UFC fighters who were very, very good wrestlers. And yeah, I had my first amateur Muay Thai fight when I was 18, did some grappling tournaments and stuff, continued to compete while I was going through college. And work and life and everything, I was also trying to forge a career in business as well. So,
okay.
My first major, I was a marketing major, my first major presentation for whatever, 40% of my class grade. I just got my nose broken the day before in training for the first time. So I showed up with 2 black eyes with my nose over here. And it made things kind of difficult. So I put fighting on the back burner a little bit, delved into the corporate world for a while. And then when I was about 25, after a couple of really bad experiences at big corporations, I decided to just quit completely and go full bore into training. I cashed out my Roth IRA, my 401k, moved to Amsterdam, started training with one of the top, K1 kickboxing gyms in the world, at Madura Gym. Was getting the shit kicked out of me every day by Dutch Moroccans. It was great. And and then when I moved back to the States, just about 6 months later, I was getting ready for, my first professional Muay Thai fight, and I blew my knee out about a week after I got home. So, I had just completely trashed my corporate career, and I didn't have really any means of making money legally. So, so I decided to start training people and coaching. And shortly thereafter, I secured a job at this guy, Fabricio Werdum's gym in Venice, California. And he would go on to become the UFC heavyweight champion while I was coaching there. So I wasn't coaching him. I was coaching all of his fighters. I was coaching, professional athletes, amateur athletes, soccer moms, celebrities, all types of people. So it was really cool. But I kept doing that. You know, my knee, I had surgery, but it never really got better. I had a couple more fights, and each time I competed, there was a moment in the fight where, like, if I was checking a low kick or something, my knee would come out, and then I'd basically have to fight the rest of the fight on one leg. So it wasn't really, you know, it wasn't meant to be in terms of my professional fighting career. But I had a really successful stable of amateur and professional athletes. I choreographed television shows, trained a lot of celebrities, and did a lot of great work. So I still continue to train private clients, close personal friends and stuff, even these days, because I just love teaching. But yeah, in terms of my professional fighting career, sadly, my leg was just not cut out for it. The rest of me, I don't know. But
Wow, you're the real fucking deal, dude.
That's insane.
That's awesome. That
I
is
appreciate that.
awesome. That is wow. I knew you had a little there, but I had absolutely no idea that you were that deep into it. That's
Oh
impressive.
man, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm painting in broad strokes. I mean, there's a lot of great stories in there too. I spent the vast majority of my adult life coaching professional athletes. Like, one of my guys won several world titles in Muay Thai. I used to work with all kinds of professional MMA champs and stuff, and it was a really awesome, like, enriching experience, you know. But it's a really rough life. Like, my body's
Yeah.
pretty broken.
Yeah, I can I can imagine. I can imagine. So when did music even become a blip on your radar? You would think it would be kind of young, but did you kind of in your mind going, I'm not going down that road. I'm not going down that road. I'm not going down that road. Okay. You know.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I loved, you know, I loved music my whole life. And I was in choir. I, you know, played drums when I was a young teenager. I dabbled in all sorts of different instruments and stuff, but I never did it professionally because my dad was, like, vehemently against the idea of me doing any sort of music. You got to understand, when I was growing up too, he was coming out of, you know, the whole backlash from leaving Van Halen or getting fired, depending on who you talk to. But, you know, and it was just a mess. And I saw things firsthand, like just how toxic the other side of fame is and all that stuff. So I didn't really want any part of that. I wanted to forge my own path in my life. But, you know, I picked up guitar when I was, like, in my early 20s, and, you know, just for fun, and started jamming with some friends, had a couple little punk bands here and there, and didn't really think anything of it. And then, you know, eventually the bug caught me, man. Some bad shit happened to me, and I started writing songs as a means of, like, coping with the things that were happening in my life. And it was really therapeutic, and I was playing open mic nights and just trying to do it, you know. And then obviously everything, you know, took off with me and Kelly Christopherson, and then after that, you know, blew up in my face, and I started doing solo stuff. You know, the rest is history, man. I've just been grinding really hard trying to make shit happen. So
Right on. I saw in there that the feeling that you got when you were on stage was something that you had never felt before and wanted to keep recapturing. I think that's how it just grabbed you and pulled you in, huh?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, I contrast that with how it felt in my first, like, amateur Muay Thai fight, which was the feeling of sheer terror and wanting to get the hell out of there and get it over with as fast as I could, you know, even though I continued to compete after that. It was the exact opposite. When I played my first show, I was really worried that I was going to suck because I had never played a proper show in front of proper people who weren't just, like, wasted at a house party, you know?
Right.
So I was
You're
like,
so good.
Yeah, right. You never know.
You're
But,
right.
and it was in a foreign country and everything. And thankfully the audience was super supportive and receptive. And as soon as I got up there and figured out we didn't suck after, you know, the first song, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then, yeah, I mean, I think we played, like, about 15 minutes, and I came off stage just wanting to play the whole night, you know?
Yeah,
So
just fucking high as hell. Just
yes, sir. Yeah. So
In a good way.
You know?
yeah, in adrenaline high. Awesome. So I was looking at some of your music, and of course I believe they played this the Red Light Appetite on that. Can you tell me a little bit about that video? It's really kind of cool. I was just like, found myself just sitting there watching it, and I was just laughing my ass off, just going, this is fucking awesome.
Good. I'm glad you dug it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I grew up like a huge fan of horror movies and B horror movies, and I love From Dusk Till Dawn. And I kind of always wanted to make kind of like horror suspense adjacent music videos. You know, I'd done some stuff for my previous projects, but I like dedicated a little bit bigger budget than I normally would making a music video to getting this idea out. Because when Trev Lukather and I were writing this stuff, I was like, oh man, Red Light Appetite. As soon as we came up with the title, I was like, we got to make this video about vampires. It's easy, you know. This is too easy. Yeah. So yeah, we got some friends together, and we were going to shoot some stuff in LA, and it didn't work out. So I was talking to a friend of mine in Austin about it, and he put me in touch with this guy Tyler, and we ended up in like less than 2 weeks, bell to bell, coming up with a little concept. He called in a bunch of favors, and we went out to this old ghost town outside of Austin where they've shot a bunch of stuff like Westworld and everything.
Sweet.
I had my friend Lexi fly in. Tyler got that girl Tori Blake to come in and be the lead vampire. We had like some like Mexican biker gangs like come out and shit. It was so crazy, man. It all happened like that under a full moon and everything. It was really cool. So I basically just wanted to capture that feeling of like the kind of B horror movie, like From Dusk Till Dawn vibe with some cowboys and vampires, you know?
Right on. Well, let's check out a little bit of it. All right.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Well played, lead in.
That was a very good one.
Okay. Video's not playing. I don't know why.
Feel something I can't define. Wishing for a touch of divine. Drowning in the thought of your lips. Dreaming of the push of your hips. Caught in the quicksand of your lust. Our souls sinking. Caught in the web between us. Our souls grab the line, 'cause we're up all night with the red light appetite. Ride the highs, we're up all night with the red light appetite.
All right. That is some good stuff. That is fun as hell.
That is awesome.
Definitely get that vibe, man. It is so cool. So cool. Yeah. I watched it over and over. I was like, this is a trip.
That makes me so happy. Thank you.
So my follow-up question to that video at this point now for you would be, from concept to completion, like what's the most fun part of that for you? Like the production or coming up with the ideas? Like what part really is the most fun for you?
I mean, to be completely honest, I love the whole part of it, everything, you know, from start to finish. But I really love the moment that everything clicks when you're writing a song. I mean, the creative process can take a lot of different forms. Sometimes you wake up with a song fully formed in your head and you got to just get up and get to a guitar or your phone to get a voice memo of it like as soon as you can. Sometimes you have a really good melody or a good line or something or a good title and you can't seem to like coax out the rest of it. But there's like a really magic moment that happens sometimes in the studio or sometimes, you know, just in your room if you're writing by yourself, where you everything kind of clicks and you realize like, oh shit, this is a good song, you know? Like maybe you'll get a little voice memo of something, you listen back to it and you get the goosies or something. You're like, oof, oh man, okay, this is good now, you know? That's my favorite part of the creative process, because that's the thing that kind of makes it all worthwhile. Because a lot of times you're literally just smashing your head against the concept, trying to get out the rest. And it can be kind of frustrating. Sometimes you got to, take a walk, go work out, do something to kind of take your mind off it. But yeah, when everything clicks, that's my favorite part.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Some songs you shelf for a year and bring them back and go, why didn't I finish this? I mean,
Exactly.
This moves right into this. Why didn't I see that before?
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. And one small thing, like one small tweak, can make a huge difference too. It's kind of wild.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you've just put out Systematic Minds. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because it's pretty darn deep, and there's a lot of thoughts going into this. So I was really intrigued with this. Yeah, it's something else.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a lyrics guy. Like I've done a lot of work writing for other artists, like ghostwriting and stuff, and writing for Sync and everything. And I'm primarily like the lyrics guy when I do that kind of work. So I don't know, like I don't want to say too much about it because part of the fun of songs is like being able to apply your own meaning to it. But I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of trying to think of a good way to say this without giving too much away. But basically, like everyone in America thinks that they're like this rugged individualist with their own, wholly formed ideas and opinions about things. But these days, it's so easy to fall into the trap of just this like kind of linear narrative. Everybody gets their news bites from the same place. They generally don't look at what's actually being said. They just look at the headline or like the clip. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People look at the same memes. They're being fed these little kernels of culture, the same kernels, in generalized kind of groups. And because of that, it's very difficult for people to form their own opinions about things. And it feels like everybody's kind of just being corralled into these different sectors of thought, So whereas people in America love this idea of individualism, most people are not real, true, whole individuals with their own thoughts. They're
Mm-hmm.
all kind of being led to think these certain things. And obviously, it's been very divisive the last few years and all this stuff. But that's kind of what this song was about to me when I was writing it, just about this kind of systemic ideology that everybody's being indoctrinated into, a lot of times like against their will. It's like nobody reads the terms of service before you sign on for like whatever, like Instagram or iTunes, whatever. You're not gonna go through it, line by line like a lawyer. So
yeah. And that's kind of like why we started this podcast and everything. We were listening to the radio and it was the same songs over and over and over again. And the more you start looking into it, it's all of these bands and all these songs have money being pushed behind them,
of course,
forcing them on you. Even when you start out, you're like, oh my God, this song, I freaking hate it. 2 weeks from then, you're going to be humming it and you're going to be singing it and you're probably going to save it on your Spotify. It's insane just because everybody else did it and it just seemed like the right thing to do. And then I saw that you had said something along the lines of you think you have your own thoughts, but then if you were going to post something, in your mind, you would go, what is everybody else going to think about this? What should I do that? Nope, I'm not going to post that. That may not, and
exactly.
So I love this song and I love how you went into that. Like it just makes you think. It's like so true. So true.
That's all I want to do too. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I feel like part of that at this point is when you post anything that's somewhat controversial, like you get blasted for the next month after it's happening. And you're just like, I just posted my thoughts. Like, I don't care to engage in you after that. But and sometimes it's just not worth it, No,
it's never worth it. I mean, this is my thought on it. If someone who doesn't know you is going to come onto whatever your social media, this, that, or the other, and start, talking a bunch of shit. First of all, like they might not have even interpreted things the way you were trying to say it because they read it, right? And there's no emotional context in reading something online,
right?
And second of all, it's like if you have that much like personal bandwidth and time on your hands to talk shit to a complete stranger on the internet for something they believe in, I just feel sorry for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a hobby. Do something else with your time that's productive. Put something good out into the world, But it just blows me away the amount of negativity that's online these days. There's too much of it. And I'm just like, man, go find something else to do. Try to enrich your life in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just to kind of switch directions a little bit. So do you have a band? I'm seeing that it's the Midnight and Andrew Hagar and the Midnight Suns. Do you have yourself a band? And are you thinking of touring, or what do you guys, what's your plans for the future?
Yeah, I mean, if you go on my social media, there's all kinds of videos of me and my band performing and stuff.
Okay.
And we've been a band for, just about a year now. And we've
Mhm.
played, we played a few shows here and there. We played mostly local shows in California, smaller stuff, a few times opening up for my pops. And I'm in between managers at the moment, so I've been kind of talking to some other booking agents, trying to figure out what's going on. I used to be represented by CAA, but our booking agent left, so I'm kind of just in the middle of figuring some things out with that. But that said, we do have some pretty big plans for 2024. There's a really big tour opening up for a very large artist that we're getting
Yes.
on, so that's pretty cool. But in the meantime, for the rest of the year, we have like a smattering of small dates throughout the fall, mostly in California. We're trying to get over to the East Coast for a few dates too. Been talking to some
Okay.
promoters out there, but for the most part, just going to continue releasing singles. We got the EP coming out at the end of this month. If my guy that does the art ever gets the art to me, I love him to death, but sometimes he takes a long time. So
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process. It's like the music's all done. I'm literally just waiting on the artwork. So, but the glorious life of an independent musician,
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm just gonna continue releasing music and play some shows here and there, and just have fun with it. There's no pressure. We don't have a label breathing it down our neck telling us what we got to do. So
Right.
That's true.
yeah,
I have a double follow-up question for you.
yeah.
The first one is for 2024. Are you opening up for Kiss?
I wish. I love Kiss, but no.
I think Ashton just left us because and the other part of the question is, do you have a website or your social media that you want to pimp out there that if somebody's looking to follow your stuff, that's where they would go?
Yeah, absolutely. Hit me up on Instagram or TikTok. I'm really the most active on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but it's mostly just an aggregate of my Instagram. So you can check me out at Andrew Hagar Official on TikTok and Instagram. And then it's just, Andrew Hagar on Facebook.
Wonderful.
Killer. Did you notice that he did the thing that we absolutely love? We've got some plans.
I
We can't talk about them yet. Yeah, we love that. It's like, yeah.
Like, every show that comes up, we're like, yeah, but I can't tell you. And we're like, we know.
Every time.
But when
One
you
time
can
we're gonna
tell
get
us-
lucky and they're gonna be like, oh well, here's an exclusive first
Yeah, when
time
you
saying
can
it.
tell us, call us and tell us.
I wish I could.
No,
Right.
I totally get it. Totally get it. Things are so volatile.
Oh my God, yeah.
You
These
never
days
know.
it's hard to do anything now. It's like, yeah, it's a challenge.
But
But it's
Oh,
it's all
yeah.
worth it in the end. So
absolutely.
Very, very true.
Well, I would love to see you out. We're kind of in the middle. We're not on the East Coast and we're not on the West Coast, but we would still love to
Right.
have you.
You gotta go through the middle to get to the other side.
That's
what
right.
Yep. We will be
Little
playing a
pit
lot
stop.
of shows around, probably around the Midwest, the middle of the country and stuff too. That's where a lot of the rock and roll fans are. So we'll be
Right
there.
on.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely be following everything that you're doing. Like I said, check him out. More active on Instagram than Facebook. Okay, we'll make sure that we're hitting that up.
Thank you.
Especially 2024, man, because
Yeah.
gonna be on the move.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
that's
and it'll
gonna
be
be
here before we
awesome.
know it.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. It was an
Absolutely.
absolute pleasure.
Likewise.
And can't wait to see what you got coming, man.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
It's no problem.
Awesome.
Have a good
Have a
evening.
good one, man.
You guys too.
Thank you.
Later.
All right. So, John, you just had to throw in the kiss, huh?
I absolutely did.
Right.
Every
Inevitably.
damn show, he's got to mention Kiss about something.
At least be like low key about it. Don't just throw it in there. Like
no,
just
but no. I used to be subtle about it, and now I'm like, nope, it's gonna happen. I could have just
just
been
the
all like,
aggressiveness of that. I got slapped by that one from over here, and I was like, ugh,
That was pretty good.
this dude.
hey, would that have been subtle enough for you?
Right? Just like hold up the cup. Are you going on tour with any of these bands?
There you go.
So
Good
everybody, that
Lord.
was Andrew Hagar. I know the link is out there on the page to his website or in the chat comments. Go check
Yeah,
it
I
out.
just figured his website, because I had his Facebook and his Instagram pulled up, and then I saw he had the website. Website has everything. So I'm like, I'm just gonna
hopefully-
do that.
Sweet.
Now, hopefully, we'll have our other guest that called in early be pretty as prompt at 7:30. We have about a minute for that to happen. We'll see. How
He
that
could have
goes.
stuck around and hung
Heck
out
yeah.
for a while.
yeah.
It'd be kind of cool. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have complained to be talking to Andrew.
And that was pretty wild. I mean, it's like Andrew, he's like, what? He's like,
Right.
"Shit."
Right.
That was hilarious.
Used to people being like an hour late, not 30 minutes early. So
Yeah,
I'll
love
take
it.
that.
Love it. And Christy
Um,
said it, John, it doesn't count if you do it yourself.
I don't care. It counts. He said I was just trying to see if that's who he was going to tour with. So
One of these days, I'm just gonna like have a kiss sticker like right here on my guitar. Just wait for someone to notice.
I could bring you one.
I could bring you one.
Of course you can.
I do want to throw in one little tidbit of news. Rob has left Volbeat after 10 years.
What?
See,
Really?
there's news for
Oh
you. Yeah.
wow.
Rob is no longer with Volbeat. He was also formerly in Anthrax before that,
Mhm.
so maybe he gonna jump back over to Anthrax and play some thrash again. I can think positively.
Yeah.
Right? Like that,
Yeah.
that kind of upsets me. Thanks for dropping that as soon as
Oh,
we
you're
get our
welcome.
next
You're
guests.
welcome.
Like
I mean,
now I'm
I-
kind of sad.
Kind of saying. So what's going on?
How's
Can
it
you
going?
hear it? Oh, okay.
So you
All
said
right.
Rob just left Volbeat?
Yes.
Oh,
He's
say
Right?
why, or is it just he was like, you know
I
what?
didn't-
See ya.
I didn't read the whole thing. I just saw the little clip and I was like, oh, it's okay because I didn't feel like he fit into that band anyway. Coming from Anthrax going to Volbeat, it didn't make sense to me.
I don't know.
But I'm
Have
also
you
a
heard
huge
the
Anthrax
old
fan.
I
Volbeat?
thought he did great. He killed it though, man. He
But I'm a
was
huge
great.
Anthrax fan, so I think, saddened by his departure.
You're biased.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm probably biased.
That makes sense. I knew him from Volbeat before I knew him from Anthrax. So that's I might be biased too. Anyways, moving on, since we're not talking about Volbeat, we're talking about the Nocturnal Affair.
Yeah. Well, we'll kind of introduce ourselves. I'm Randy. I'm in Oklahoma City.
I'm Ashton. I'm also from
Oh,
Oklahoma
cool.
City.
We were just there.
And
Hell
I'm
yeah.
Don. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
Yes, you were in
Cool.
Chickasha opening with Smile Empty Soul, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really nice place. John, they were at the
How's that
believe-
place we went?
I believe so. I believe so.
That's a
Um,
nice place. I like that place.
It has the upstairs. Is it the same one? No.
Sorry. What was that?
Is it the one that has the upstairs and everything up there, and then the stage is down on the bottom and
Legends. Yes. Yeah.
Legend? Okay, yeah, that's the name of it. I was like, surely that's where they were, because that's where else could they be in Chickasha, Oklahoma?
I don't know, a barn and a random farm. Been there, done that.
Well, yeah,
Down. As long as people show up, let's go.
hell yeah. Hell
Not
yeah.
wrong.
So what's going on?
Are you guys coming out to the Tulsa show?
What's that?
You guys coming out to the Tulsa show?
I didn't know you were having a Tulsa show. When is this?
Right before our last show, which is in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Nice. Well, I'm
So it should be the
definitely
16th, I believe, in Tulsa.
hell
Yep,
yeah.
June 16th.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yes. We're definitely going to try to put that on our calendar.
What is that?
For
A
sure.
Sunday? Ooh,
Awesome.
I might be able to
That's-
squeeze into that
That's
one
good
too if y'all
stuff,
go.
Yeah. Hell yeah. We'll definitely be down there
That would be cool.
if we can get everything to work. We just couldn't make it out there on this last one. It's an hour and a half from our house, and then it's like work. We're like shit. But that Tulsa one may
They
just
took really
happen.
good care of us, though. That they know how to party and shit shit.
They do.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes, they do. Oh
funny.
my goodness. So let's talk about everything that you got going on. You look like, are you on a tour bus right now?
Yeah.
Yes. Where you at?
Yes. We are currently in some back lot in Sandusky, Ohio. I just spent the day at Cedar Point, and some of the other guys went and saw a movie and did their own thing.
No, I'm with you, Cedar Point.
I'd
Good
never been,
Lord.
and on our first Fozzy tour, our drummer went and came back saying that's the most fun he had ever had on tour. And I had the biggest FOMO. So for the last year, I've been kicking myself in the ass for not doing that. So I finally got to go.
Better late than never, I guess, on that
Hell
one.
yeah. So let's talk about Fozzy. You went on tour with Fozzy back in 2022, and any plans on being with them again?
So we went out with them in 2022
Mhm.
after being on their cruise in 2021. And then this year we hit the cruise with them again. And we just got back from doing a little bit of a spring tour with them as well. So we've been out with them twice on tour, and we're about to be on their cruise for a third time. So
Wow. Rich Ward's my
Wow.
man. I love that guy to death.
Rich is a sweetheart, dude.
He
He's
is so down to earth
fucking
and
awesome.
just so genuine.
Yeah, and he gets up there and he kills it every night, twice a night, 5 nights a week, like insane. You know, if it says they're doing 15 shows in a month, they're technically doing 30 because VIP gets about 5 songs before the actual show. So
Holy
they're
shit.
working their asses off.
Awesome. Yeah.
That is
Yeah, man,
impressive.
So how much more on your tour do you have now? Are you guys getting towards the end of it, or what do you got left?
I think we have about 10 shows left,
Okay.
9 shows left. I think we have 7 in a row, a day up and 2 shows. That would be 9 shows.
Sweet.
Oh, geez. Yeah. June 8th,
be
9th,
interesting.
10th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 16th, 17th. Good Lord. You guys are just,
Insane.
can you guys sleep in one of
Yeah.
these days? Good Lord.
It's it's interesting. I've never done 7 in a row. The most I think I've done is 6 in a row. So this is probably the last of my talking for the next week, which I'm sure the rest of the band is really excited about. So I'll only be making noise when I'm on stage.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, man, usually you've got to take care of your voice, and the stupidest things like somebody coughing around you, it can be detrimental, and just shaking people's hands,
yeah.
just being courteous and just being open is it's just so hard to do, because I get it and I understand why you don't talk. You don't talk. You rest your voice, and it's just
Yeah,
so
after meet and greets or whatever, when people come to the table, I literally hit the bathroom like Jack Nicholson and as good as it
Mhm.
gets, and I fucking scrub my hands, make sure I don't touch my face, And yeah, it's funny. Some of the guys will laugh at me sometimes because somebody near us will cough and I will recoil like, are they fucking sick? I can't get sick. We're on tour. Everyone else is like, oh, come on, don't be a pussy. And I'm like, okay, try to sit with a cold. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
You can
insane
still
because
play
anyone
guitar.
else, yeah, anyone else can be like, oh, hey, look, here's my instrument for the day. Oh, nope, I want to play this one for the day. For you, it's here's mine. I can't
Yeah.
just
yeah.
here's a new
And
one.
it's not just how I talk, it's how I sleep, it's what I eat, it's what I drink. So like today we go to Cedar Point and I get to go on these coasters and I couldn't scream. So it was a lot of me just going on one of them. I was saying out loud again and again and again, I cannot scream, I cannot scream, I cannot scream. Because if I didn't, I would have been hollering. It was so much fun. So all the videos are me going, or the pictures that they get at the end of the ride.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is insane.
So how do you guys go about writing a song? Is there a special songwriting recipe that you guys follow every time, or is it just organic?
It's pretty organic. I usually will put some, like, I don't know, the bone structure of a song together, the skeleton of a song together.
Mhm.
And since Andy's joined the band, I've brought it to him because he is a much better guitar player than me, and he'll throw down his stank on it and a solo or two, and we'll sit there and we'll juggle with it for a little while, maybe switch up, the way it's written. And there's been times I've handed, piano songs to Andy and been like, hey bud, can you like just put a solo on the end of this? And he sends back like a whole new composition with full band and everything like this. So it really just depends on the mood. It depends on what we come up with first. There's one that Andy brought to me a while ago where it's him and his guitar, and he's just doing this like thing with the delay pedal where he's kind of dancing back and forth with a riff that I really wanted to fuck with for a while. But I mean, there's never the same way that we sit down and write songs.
Awesome. So who are your influences? I see some dark elements going on. I mean, Typo Negative, 9 Inch Nails, that type of stuff. Is who does that come from?
Like who in the band is influenced by that?
Yeah. Where does that influence come from?
Oh, that's me.
You.
So
It's me.
So no, it influenced me early in the band. Maybe I'm misunderstanding your question. Um, I started the band based on the fact that I wasn't hearing music like that on the radio anymore, and I missed it. It just so happened since we'd started this band, the 69 Eyes came back for their little, reunion tour through the States, ended up picking up management out here, and then, now they're kind of doing the thing again. Also, I was missing stuff by like Sisters of Mercy, Typo Negative. I mean, you name it, him, all that stuff. So I kind of brought that to the table with the early demos. A little bit of 9 Inch Nails, a little bit of Gary Newman, David Bowie. I mean, I'm even influenced by like stuff like George Michael, the stuff he does like vocally, his harmonies,
Right.
everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. He was amazing. Yeah.
So I think the only band member that probably has any different influence from me that isn't that, because everybody else in the band generally gets along with that idea. Like they also love Typo Negative, they also love Depeche Mode, this stuff. Is Andy comes from a much different background musically. He went to school at Berkeley. He's really into like virtuosos that I can't even think of the name of right now. And I'm going to be a dick for saying this because I should know it, but I don't know. Like guitar isn't my main instrument. So the guy that paints himself silver, what's his name? Do we know?
Oh my God, Steve
Andy.
Vai.
Who's the guy that Steve Vai? That's it.
Steve
Yeah,
Vai.
he showed me these videos of like Steve Vai a while ago, and I was like, why is he silver? Is he the Tin Man? I don't understand. It's amazing. But I don't get it. First, like I wouldn't sit down to listen to it, but like then Andy shows up and he's like, "Hey, check this lick out," and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's my favorite style of guitar playing." So I literally saw this guy play at the Shine Saloon in Las Vegas a decade ago, I think this year. And the way he just does things is so different than what I'm used to. I was like, "This is my band one day. He will be mine." So anyway, that's enough about my love for Andy.
So you've worked with John Moyer as a producer. How did that come about? How did that go?
I met him through, so I used to be in a metal band called Wretched Sky, and my drummer, Steven, has an uncle that grew up with Moyer. So they were like childhood friends. So right around the time we were putting together some demos that made sense, Moyer had started kind of putting feelers out there saying he's producing bands. And my drummer's uncle was like, "Hey man, what you think of this band?" He liked us. He came out and he did a 5-song EP with us, and him and I just hit it off. We became buds, and he gets me. He gets my writing.
Really,
he understands what I'm trying to do, and so we've kind of just been keeping in touch ever since. Every time he came to Vegas, we hang out, and I sent him some demos for Nocturnal around summer, fall of 2019. And he was like, "How many of these songs do you have?" And I was like, "I don't know, like 15 or whatever." It's like, "Cool, let's make a record. Like, I want to produce it. Let's make this happen." So just been going since then.
That is killer. That is killer. So you've been
Hey,
alongside.
Hey Randy, before you go into your next question, since we're in the music chatter type mode, how about we play a touch of music real quick?
Yeah, we can do that. How about It's No Good? Right. Let's see here.
We're just gonna get a little clip real quick for everybody out there.
Cool.
Right. Yeah. Man, you guys look awesome out there. That looks like a good time.
It was a blast. That was shot by our good friend Jessica, who does she helps us with our TikTok stuff and just footage on tour. She does a lot of stuff for Fozzy like that too. She's just extremely talented. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I watched it in its entirety before we actually got on here. I'm like, this is really good.
And where was that one shot at?
I'm sorry?
Where was that shot at? That video?
So that was footage from every show we played at our last Fozzy tour.
Oh, very cool.
So that was every city. So we kind of gave the crowd a chance to be in the video if they wanted to. And we were very, very spoiled on that tour. People were so amazing.
That's awesome, though.
That's good stuff. So is there one place that everybody can go to find your music, find out about your tour? Where is the one-stop shop, if you will?
We try to keep, I know a lot of people don't focus heavily on websites anymore, but we try to keep our website up to date. So it's just our band name, thenocturnalaffair.com. But, anywhere from Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all the links are on that site. So I guess the site would be the best route to go.
Okay.
It's all up there.
Awesome. So any plans for some new music coming out? I mean, are you guys writing? Are you continuing to write? Can you write on the road?
I started writing on the road more on this tour. I brought my laptop with me finally, and I just got this new program called, well, it's not a new program, it's new to me. shown to me by a friend called Odin 2, and it's a guitar emulator. So it uses the piano roll on your recording software, and depending on what you click to choose the note, what velocity is it's at, which however hard you want the note to play. It can be a specific note on the guitar, it can be a palm mute, it can be a harmonic. So I'm able to program guitars without having to like hold an electric on the bus,
right,
while we're moving around and everything's happening. So I've messed with that maybe twice in the last month, just because I'm so busy with everything else. So when I'm home, I write every day, whether it's a riff or a chorus or vocal melody, whatever it is. I try to wake up in the morning, have breakfast, do that. So
really cool. Yeah.
Aside from that, we've got about 14 unreleased songs, I think, waiting to go.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's a good backstock too.
Heck yeah. A lot of people just cannot ride on the road. They just need to be at home, comfortable and in their own element. But that's really cool that you're finding new ways of trying to make it work, because let's be honest, there's no downtime for a musician anymore. There really isn't. If you're not producing something, you're going to get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny thing is, on the road, I find myself being more inspired to write. Like I find myself, singing riffs in my head or melodies or something coming up. And I do write down a lot of lyrics when I'm in my bunk, or when, it's the convenience though of having to go through all of the luggage, all of my stuff, pulling out my laptop, maybe having a spot to sit on the bus, not being called to go do something else or whatever, or just being able to get the focus, because everyone wants to talk to each other while we're out on the road, and sometimes it might just look like I'm on my computer. So somebody will just sit down, so with this today, with the coffee, with the this, or maybe whatever. And I'm just like, yes. And then you keep working, and they're like, oh, so what are you doing later? This, and you keep getting interrupted.
Totally get it.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad problem to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful that I'm able to tour and have this experience, and like the fact that I'm even in a bus right now at the level that we're at, I'm very grateful. So
that is awesome. That is awesome. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to throw out there and let anybody know?
I believe we have an EP to follow up this single release coming out this fall.
Yeah.
We finally got something spicy.
Yeah, we finally got some.
That sounds exclusive.
There's a little zest. There's a little spice on it.
I love it.
I believe there has already been a PR release about that, so maybe I can say talk about it, or my management will slap me on the
hand. We're gonna get a message later, just like, hey, can you like edit that out?
Yeah, can you take that out? There's nothing coming.
Big censored square. The whole time I met a recent interview I did. I was talking about how I met Logan Mader, and why I love the fact that he mixes and masters and engineers. He co-produces a lot of the stuff. And I just blurted out a price that he had given me to produce some of our tracks years ago. And I just blurted the price out. And afterwards, I didn't even tell the people that interviewed me. It was a guy and a girl in a rock pod. I didn't even tell them, like, oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud, because maybe he doesn't want that out there. And I was listening back to the interview, like cringing, waiting for me to say it. And they totally put a guitar squeal over how much money I said.
That's awesome.
He charged us originally. And I was like, yes, I'm not
good
in
looking
trouble.
out. Good looking out.
Yeah,
that's a good catch.
Oh shit.
That's good censorship. You won't hear me say that very often.
Yep.
Right.
Right, exactly. That's a rare statement.
Oh wow. So I am definitely going to try to make the Tulsa one. I did not see that on on your list, man. That's really cool. I would
It's gonna be fun.
definitely, especially you said it's a Sunday, Ashton.
No, it's a Friday.
Uh-oh.
I was looking at wrong number.
You're gonna have to forgive me if I don't speak very much. That will
You're
be
good.
shows. That'll be show 8 of 9 that we have left, and I might be considering my voice. So if you want to talk to us about anything, I'll probably just throw you off. But it's one of the other guys in the band.
I was gonna
Don't,
say
don't
that's
think
what
I'm
they're
like.
there
Don't think I'm
for.
like.
No.
Yeah, I just want to talk to you. Yeah.
I've learned to not take offense from a vocalist.
Right.
It's very common.
There's
Well,
gotta be a story behind that. I want to hear.
well, we're definitely going to try to make it down there to Tulsa to see you, because I really wanted to go and see you up in Chickasha, but it just wasn't in the cards. But now we get a second chance, so coming at you.
It'll be fun. Awesome.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your tour, man.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
You
See you
bet.
guys later.
Have a good one.
Absolutely.
Later, man.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
So everybody, that was the Nocturnal Affair. Go check them out. The link is on the chat if you want to find them. It is thenocturnalaffair.com. I don't have any other fun notes because I already brought you guys down about the Volbeat thing.
Yeah, that kind of
Pretty
hurt.
much. Yeah,
I
that
already-
was in the blue.
I already made
Featuring
sure
my
I got
kid
in
in the corner.
my weekly kiss mention.
Mhm.
I told you guys a bad joke before the show.
Well, I was about
All my
to
boxes checked.
I was about to say, if you want to sell that joke, that would be.
I don't want to tell it now.
Oh, come on, John.
I had a bad delivery. I don't think it worked well. Like I didn't even get the from you guys. You were just like,
So
Dude,
well-
you had me repeating the punchline 10 minutes later.
well, no, because before the show started, we got cut off by your music, but he was talking about how he wanted to start up a bee farm. So I kind of want to hear the rest of that story.
I don't want to do it.
Oh, that was
John.
even
Anyway,
a good
So
setup.
anyway, we're gonna start up like a bee colony so we can make our own honey.
That's really cool, though.
I'll just tell it. It's you got to get your starter like bees. So you got to get like a dozen to start a colony, I guess.
Mhm.
So when I got my bees, I looked through and counted them, and I told them, I said, "Hey, I ordered a dozen. There's 13 here," and they're like, "Yeah, that one's a freebie."
It's just as painful.
I know. Second time around.
I'm so
I
glad
tried
you
to
did
play
it, though, John. I'm so glad you did it.
I was like, man, I even tried to give it a smooth setup and everything to where people like drop their guard and they're just like, oh, like cool bee colony. And then like, really?
No, I 10 minutes later, I'm going freebie.
Good Lord.
Oh my God. All right.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any other cool news? Like, other than I ruined your day with my news, so I won't do that again. Apparently,
we did go to Tulsa, and we went and saw Trivium and Beartooth, which was really cool. I'm telling you, Christy warned me that Beartooth is like balls of freaking just energy all over the place. And tell you what, he is all over. And it kind of reminded me of like Kicks, he's just running all. I'm like, what the hell, dude? How are you not out of breath? How do you do this? And it's just insane. So really good show. We just did a review for that. Chrissy's got all the pictures up, and so go check it out at bleachbangs.com. Trivium and Beartooth and these cats. They're really good. They're really good. Really good. They're on Octane right now. So I did kind of talk to the lead singer after the show, gave him one of our cards, and he's like, "Hey, hit up our management, and maybe we can come and talk to you." So
Excellent. Right on.
yeah,
That's what those cards
That'd
are
be a cool
for, right
one.
there. Boom.
exactly.
Now, if only you had a Bleach Bang shirt.
I've got a bleach bang shirt.
He has
Why
one.
didn't you wear it?
I have
got
one.
you got to advertise 24/7. Anytime you go to a show, you got to advertise.
I was advertising for them. Come on our show.
Yeah, you're advertising them now, but you should have been advertising us then.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but yeah, I see.
Freebie.
But you're from like Oklahoma and you're advertising for Kansas, so
I mean, I don't have a comeback for that right now. So
Are you from Oklahoma though?
technically, no.
I mean,
I'm from Kansas.
You've transplanted, bro.
My birth certificate is a Kansas birth certificate,
I
not
get
one
it.
of those ugly Oklahoma ones.
I get it because my birth certificate is not from Kansas, so I understand where you're coming from. I get it.
Right.
I am the same way. Wow.
Oh, killer.
That's a new topic for us.
Right.
I don't think we've ever gone this route.
All right, gentlemen. You about ready to play this out?
Yeah, I just want to say another huge thank you to Andrew and the Nocturnal Affair for joining us this evening.
Absolutely.
And
It was a good
Randy's going to
evening.
cue up some exit music. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
We bang your ugly friends too.